Rio Hondo Prep football is one of the best kept secrets in all of Southern California. As one of the smallest enrollments year in and year out, the Cares have won 16 CIF championships and have been one of the most successful programs throughout their history. Welcome to A Charge to Keep, the official podcast of Rio Hondo Prep football. And now, bringing you the latest news and content from his alma mater, a CIF champion in 2001, from the class of 2003, here's your host, Matt Hersema.
What is up, Rio Hondo Prep football fans? Hope you are doing well. We are officially into the August month, which means football season. It has arrived, I should say. And, only a few more days until we are kicking things off and playing Rio Hondo Prep football for real. Back again, the season after the 2025 season kicking off after two incredible runs, two more championships to that impressive 16 championships, 16 banners, I should say, that hang in the rafters there at the Stivers Center. I think I speak for everyone in the world of Rio Hondo Prep that our minds are on number 17, right? And no one's ever done the three-peat in the 11-man era. It was done back in 96, 97, and 98 when, it was kind of the 8-man days and things were getting, I won't say just too easy, but a lot easier than in the past. So here we are now in 11-man football. What is that? It's been over 20 years now, pushing 25, and Rio Hondo has raised 6 championship banners in the 11-man era since making the move to 11-man back in 2002, my senior season. So first championship at 11-man came in 2005, which was exactly 20 years ago. So in 20 years, 6 total championships, as well as, let's see, 2, maybe 3, I think it's 2 championship game finishes. So 8 championship appearances in 20 years. Not too bad if I say so myself. And who knows, those numbers could be even better. But this is our senior sons portion of the summer podcast where we talk to the families of our senior players. It's hard to believe that they are seniors after just starting as freshmen a few short years ago. But hey, ready or not, here we go. The class of 2026 taking their final snaps as seniors in the 2025 season. You have heard from a few of the families already, and for the most part, it's just kind of been 2 families per episode. That seems to work a little bit better this season. So again, always looking to ways to improve the podcast, make it better, and also give the families the attention I think they deserve for their contributions, their effort, and just everything, their involvement with Rio Hondo Prep football. Because once you step into this thing, as the parents have come to realize over the past few years, and the parents from the past, it's a lifelong commitment. You might not be doing the team dinners and driving your kids to and from games anymore, but you become part of that fan base that just constantly increases and never seems to go away. So for all the parents and families out there who are supporting our guys currently and have been the past few years, the challenge will be to continue that fanhood in the years to come and welcome you to that, continue on in that great fan base that is Rio Hondo Prep. Before these young men become officially alumni in, we'll say, June of 2026, they got some business ahead of them, as we've heard from the Peninari Reyes families. We've also heard from the Shine and Pollock families. Well, today we are going to hear from 2 more members of that senior class. We're going to hear from Diego Raygoza's parents, as well as Calogero Chico's parents. So some exciting interviews that I recorded back in July that I think you guys will really, really enjoy. More of, hearing from the families, from the parents. I think for some of the alumni and the guys, these interviews are really beneficial for the guys that are far away, we'll say, who live in another state, maybe even another part of the world. They get to kind of put names with faces, which is why I like to do the post game shows, getting to interview our players. But I think getting to hear from the families is really beneficial to our alumni, who again only get to watch this team really on the NFHS network, and occasionally maybe come down to watch games in person. But I think getting to learn about the families and kind of that backstories and everything is really beneficial to everyone to see that, wow, we all come from very different places, but in some ways too, we all come from the same place, Care Youth League at times. That's not always the case, as we've learned the past few years, but I just think the Rio Hondo story, the body of work, the student body of all the different groups, kids and families we have is just phenomenal, because it's that one heartbeat that is Rio Hondo Prep football. And so much fun for me to talk to these parents, and the willingness again to come on and talk with me. We pass each other and wave at games and things, but to have a conversation and for them to express what the experience has been like for them in their Rio Hondo Prep football journey for them and their family, it is a lot of fun. So with each of these two guys, Diego Raygoza, quiet guy from what I've seen and what his parents told me, but a guy that I think that his teammates love. They respect the heck out of him. An offensive, defensive lineman type of guy, got some good size to him. Guy that is just a good teammate overall, and he's going to be a senior. I think Rio's really going to need some contributions from him on that offensive line this year. There are some spots that are, some gaps really there available to kind of fill some spots that graduated and moved on. And I think some big opportunities from someone like Diego. So just an example, all the guys that have kind of stuck with the program and hung in there and work hard and some big opportunities come to guys at different times. And I think the senior year, Diego's senior year, this is the time for him to shine big. I remember a play last year in the second round of the playoffs at MLK. We were throwing as many bodies as we could into the game just to kind of keep our guys fresh, because they were playing up against a big offensive and defensive line from the King Wolves. And Diego got in there and he made the most of an opportunity. And it was a hustle play, that you love to see. Defensive lineman either rush the passer. I can't remember if it was a pass play or not, but the play went downfield, and he could have just phoned it in. But as Rio Hondo guys do, as their coach to do, he turned and burned, chased the play, and wouldn't you know it, ball pops out. He jumps on it, recovers the fumble. A special moment for his family. I could tell you this, being down on that sideline, and you've seen some video from the highlight films and everything. His teammates were fired up. His coaches were fired up that Diego made a big time play. And it was kind of just emblematic of the type of kids we have. Like you can't go wrong hustling. You can't go wrong hustling and getting around the football. And Diego made a big play that night that I think him and his family will always remember. So big things ahead for Diego Raygoza on this 2025 season. I'm working from memory here. I think he wears number 78. I could be wrong. Mom and Dad, forgive me if I'm wrong on that. Maybe 77. Oh man, sorry, all these numbers and names in there. Shame on me for not knowing that. But anyway, Diego Raygoza gonna have a big season, and we'll hear from his parents talking about what it's been like the past 3 years, Rio Hondo Prep football. The other family we're gonna have on the show today is the Chico family, Ron and Kira Chico, the proud parents of Calogero Chico, whose actually brother played at Rio about 10 years ago or so. Calogero has made the most of his opportunities as well. Big plays as a freshman in the passing game as a wide receiver. The past couple years, I think we've really seen just how tough Calogero Chico is. And although Rio kids don't wear the names on their names on the back of the jerseys, you can almost feel that with Calogero Chico, that he proudly is a Chico and carries on a football family tradition there that goes back to when his brother was playing Dominico back in the early 20 teens or whatever it was, 2009, I believe, 2008, somewhere in there, into his senior season, I think of like 2012, or maybe I have that wrong, 2012 into 2015, I think is more accurate. But a championship under his belt as well in 2012 as a freshman. So the younger brother Calogero with 2 rings, older brother Domenico has his one that I'm sure he cherishes, but I know that family with 3 rings under their belt definitely has a 4th ring possibly on their mind here in the 2025 season. So Calogero Chico, one of our smaller guys on this football team, and he has been for all 3 years, but you won't find a pound for pound as far as toughness goes and tackling goes. Quite a football player. He may be overlooked because it's like, oh, who's this little guy out here? But Hey, he may not bring you down, but he's going to hold on and wait for his brothers to come finish you off. And he doesn't miss. He's got great hands. You see him make some plays, interceptions. I remember in the state regional where he just stripped the wide receiver of the football. There's a slow motion clip of that where our sideline, I think I get some air under my feet on that play too. It's really, really cool play. And Calogero has just made clutch plays all throughout his playing days here at the varsity level. And it's just really impressive to see a guy of that stature who steps up and doesn't back down to anybody. It's really, again, emblematic of Rio Hondo Prep football and the type of kids we have. So I will now step aside and let you guys give a listen to the Raygoza and Chico families. I fittingly went row and go, kind of Calogero and Chico, or excuse me, not Chico. I messed it up already. Calogero with the RO and Diego with the GO. So we'll hear from the Chico family first, just in that order, row and go, which is why this episode is named that. So Calogero, Chico first, and then we will be hearing from the Chico family first, and then followed it up by the Diego Raygoza family. Again, like we've done in the previous weeks, there won't be a break in between. I'll just go right into the next interview, and they're each about 30 minutes long. So to the Raygoza and Chico families out there who are listening, who may be new to the podcast, welcome to the show, and I hope you guys enjoy these two interviews with two more of our senior sons that will be carrying on the Rio Hondo tradition one more time. All right, here are my interviews in order, with the Chico family, followed up by the Raygoza family. All right, as we continue our conversations with our senior parents, we are now joined by Ron and Kira Chico, the proud parents of Calogero Chico, who is, although maybe a little shorter in stature, he's larger than life, in my opinion, in so many ways. Ron, Kira, good evening. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Well,
Man,
thank
thanks
you.
for having us here, man. Appreciate it.
Kira, I'll start with you. Calogero and, his other teammates, they're still on the Europe trip as we are recording this on, July 11th. So I think they have 4 or 5 more days. Maybe they come back next Tuesday. Are you excited for your son to come home, or has it kind of been nice with him away, having a good time?
Both. Both. It's always good when you don't have kids in the house. You can do what you need to do. But I'm happy that he's coming back. I can't wait for him to come back.
Yeah, some of those videos, it looks like Calogero specifically is really having a good time. Kira, some of the still photos as well.
Couldn't wait. He's been talking about this trip since our older son went. That's how long he's been talking about this trip. He couldn't wait to go on this trip.
Oh man, well I got to tell you, the Europe trip is something else, that's for sure. Ron, she mentioned your older son Domenico from the class of 2016, I believe, CIF champion in 2012. He went on the Europe trip. Let's see, however many years ago that was. So did he kind of tell Calogero about some of the things they'd be doing, some of the things they'd be seeing?
Yeah, they shared a couple of things. Those said he like some of the things that he remembered the most, and Calogero was like, yeah, I want to see that, and it was Rome and Germany that they talked about, and something in Austria. I think it was the food in Austria. That's what they were talking about, because I'm looking at the pictures now. They did a lot of eating at McDonald's in this trip.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Like when we did it, I was, let's see, 2001. Yeah, we were all this great gourmet stuff, and we wanted McDonald's all the time. And it's like high school kids are high school kids, right? I mean, you gotta, they don't change much.
They said the McDonald's, we talked to Calogero briefly on the trip, and he said the McDonald's is so much better.
Way
than that
better.
here.
And the Popeyes. He with the Popeyes chicken. He said it was better too.
Oh, now we're talking. Man, let's get all the good stuff over there. That's fantastic. Kira, I'll just get this out, get right to it here. Can you believe your son Calogero is about to be a senior?
No, it happened so fast. I remember he was a baby, and then I look up, I'm like, man, but he'll be 18 in December. So I'm like, it's crazy how time flies. Like, man.
Yeah. No doubt. And Ron, he started in Care Youth League. I think you guys were mentioning me off the air at a younger age, kind of a little different than your other son, Domenico, who kind of got maybe a late start in Care, kind of went right into Rio. So as far as kind of was it easier kind of with Calogero going to Care Youth League and what was it, first grade, knowing, hey, he's going to go all the way through?
Yeah, it was a lot different. The style of coaching and the mandatory days for junior All-American are pretty pretty rough, and the atmosphere is, I like to say, a little overzealous. The parents there are a little bit more challenging to deal with than here at Rio. The Rio, you watch the kids, you don't understand what's going on with them, how they're coaching it, because it's a different philosophy, right? And all of a sudden they turn into these beasts, just a whole level of wow.
Yeah.
I heard a funny story real quick.
Mhm.
One of the coaches said he talked to a player out there, I think it was from King, and he said, "How'd you guys do?" And the player said, "Well, we did pretty good, but we lost to a small team in the playoffs in the second round." They said, "Who was that?" And they said, "Rio." And he was like, "Oh," because he's coaching some of the kids from Rio. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think Rio Hondo has made a name for themselves over the years, especially the past, I don't know, 4 years. Your son played on some great teams there, the 2011, 2012 back-to-back champs. He was a freshman on the 2012 team, I believe. One thing I remember about his son Domenico, like, I don't know, he seemed to be a lot bigger than Calogero, or am I just imagining things there, Kira?
He's
He's bigger.
okay.
Yeah, he was real tall, wasn't
5'11". He's about
5'11"?
Mhm.
Yeah. I remember saying, guys, first pointing out, oh, that's Doe's brother, Calogero Chico. I was like, really? That's him? Oh, okay. I can see the resemblance, but he was a little shorter in stature. But I got to tell you, Ron, from watching him the past 3 years, I don't know if there's a tougher kid on the team. He is definitely a Chico through and through. And man, he's one heck of a tackler, man. Calogero likes to scrap it up.
Yeah, he has a lot of fun out there. We've always told him, you're going to be the smallest guy out there in the field. Don't try to go heads up with somebody. Just, grab around their legs and hold on for dear life. And he does a good job of tracking. He does a good job of his angles, and he makes the tackles when he needs to. He does get clobbered every once in a while, but
He can take a hit. I mean,
Yeah.
he can take a hit, and gets back up. So
Well, yeah, on that note, Kira, I mean, there's a lot of moms out there. I mean, it's a natural thing to kind of worry about the safety of your kids and everything. And most moms I talk to, they just want everyone to get up. And yeah, you just mentioned, I mean, his toughness. I don't know, where did you learn that being a younger brother of Dom, or what? Has just naturally been a tough guy?
Oh, him and Doe play a lot. Doe is 10 years older than him, so it was frustrating to Calogero a lot because Doe never let him win, man. We had to tell him, "Hey, man, let's win sometime. What's going on? Jeez." So Calogero has that anger inside of him.
yes,
Semi-Napoleonic, but nevertheless.
he hates to lose. He hates to
Hey,
lose.
then he is a care. Then he is a care through and through. He's got that in him. He's a perfect guy for our program, I think. And let me ask you that just before I forget. Calogero and Domenico, two very unique names. How'd you guys come up with those?
Well, I was gonna name him Dominique. That's what I was gonna do first. But my best friend had a son, so I gave her that name. So then I was like, well, I was looking at Domenico. That was going to be the name. And I went online to see how you spell it. And then I saw Domenico. And then I was like, oh no, I like that better. And the funny thing about it, because the movie A Bronx Tale is where I got the name Calogero. I was going to name Domenico Calogero, but then I saw Domenico, how you spell it. I said, never mind, I'm going to name him Domenico. And then when I got pregnant again, I knew it was a boy. I said, okay, I'm sticking with Calogero. So, but Calogero's from A Bronx Tale.
That's the mob movie, right? The Bronx Tale. Yeah. Oh, I love a good. Now I like his name even more. I love a good mob movie. Well, Ron, it's got to be frustrating though. All these games, you hear the announcer saying, "And the tackles made by Calogero, Chico," all the different names you hear, right?
Calling, man, it's starting to get funny. I try to yell across Calogero, but it doesn't work. I think we need to put what is that when you a hyphenated his name, just hyphenate and put it on Calogero.
Yeah. I hear guys calling him Cal. I think he gets a lot of cows and stuff like that. So first time I went up to, I said hello. I said, "It's Calogero." He's like, "Yep, Calogero." I said, "Oh, okay. Thank you. I don't want to mess that up." So he is your son is you guys know this. He is a special guy. The times I've interviewed him either on the podcast or after games, some guys are shy, not a little hesitant with words. I will say your son is I don't know, he eats up the camera a little bit, in my opinion, which I love. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, he likes that. He has a really unique sense of humor, and doing stuff like this is just right up his alley. He just wants to talk. Once you get him to talk, he won't stop talking. Um, he likes that. I had a well, I had to tell him, hey, when you talk, just talk to him. Just talk to Matt. Just talk to, and then apparently that was a trigger, and that he never stopped talking.
Well, he's great. You could tell he's concise. He thinks about his answers, and he's definitely watched some sports interviews on TV because he's got something going on usually. And again, I absolutely love it. He's a great guy. Let me see let's talk about these guys as freshmen, the class of 2026, the current seniors. They came into Rio in a very unique situation, and I know there was some sophomores and juniors on the team, but for all intents and purposes, it was Ryan McCall, a Division I athlete, and a bunch of freshmen. And that was just, I mean, what a way to start our podcast off. What do you remember about that freshman year? Not just that your son was going to play varsity, but man, all these guys, all the freshmen were going to have starting positions and be big time contributors.
Yeah. Yeah, I can tell you, man, it was first of all, it was very nerve-wracking. We knew that the team was good, but we didn't know if they were varsity good. And they, it's their resolve to play and to win is very unique to this group. I'm sure winning is instilled in everyone, right? But they take it to a different level. They want to get a better understanding of who they are, how they work together, and how they're going to produce during the game. And during the game, their intensity goes up to a different level. I saw them out there on the field with guys that were so much bigger than them, and they did what they had to do.
Yes.
It wasn't always pretty, but they were getting experience, and they took that with them all the way up till now.
I think that freshman year for them was tremendous. To obviously, they didn't have to be afraid, maybe a little afraid, obviously, but you got Ryan there with you. He's got your back, and just a very talented class, not just skill wise, but toughness. And Akira, it's not easy again for moms seeing their kids out there. I mean, a freshman playing varsity football, a bunch of freshmen playing varsity football. That had to be crazy.
I wasn't scared at all. I wasn't nervous at all. I know our kids are built tough, so I was like, he's gonna be all right. And I knew he was gonna try to go out there and play as hard as he was gonna play, and he did. He did just that, and that was it. I wasn't nervous. You just say
love it,
and then keep it like that.
He was definitely afraid. He's definitely afraid of her. So it's better not go out there and complain. And he'd be out there, okay, mom, what do I do? No.
That's great. Hey, playing football is the easy part. You don't want to deal with mom. No, not at all. I remember that freshman year. I remember it may have been his first touchdown up at Boron, the double pass. Remember, I think Mustaine hit him, and of course, Calogero being Calogero, arms up, little mini celebration there. I loved it. I thought it was great, man. He does it just right. Let me tell you, he's fantastic.
That was pretty funny too, because we said, "What do you do?" He goes, "I didn't know what to do, so I just put my hands up in the air."
Oh man. Well, other than that, I mean, obviously the past 2 years have been incredibly special for these kids, our program, our alumni. I mean, it's been a blur, but Kira, if you could, the past 2 years, 2 championship runs. I mean, what can you say about, they're 2 different seasons, but I don't know, in one way, in some way, they're kind of one giant season, and we got kind of this final chapter coming up.
Yes. What I like about this group is that they don't give up. That even if they make a mistake, something happens, no one blames anybody. They just go back and say, okay, we just gonna get it back. And then we're gonna try to get it back, and we're gonna try to score. That's what I like the most about it. There's no blaming. It's okay, we gonna get it back, don't worry about it. And they go out there and they try to get it back. They go when it's halftime, whatever the coaching staff tell them, whatever they gotta fix, whatever, they go back out, they regroup and get their minds right, and then they go out and do it. That's what I like the most about them. The heart that they have, because they playing with a lot of heart. Because sometimes you saw them, sometimes the kids are bigger than them, and they don't care. It's like
Yeah.
they don't care. We gonna get this W no matter what. That's what I like about them, and that's what I look forward to this season. That they continue with that type of drive, that type of heart. Just go out and get it. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, what parent wouldn't love that? Hey, these guys don't blame anybody. They try to figure it out or move forward because that just wastes time. I mean, really, time and energy when you start playing the blame game. And honestly, Ron, when you see some of the teams we play, you know, not to mention anyone specific, but some of these teams, they get frustrated with us playing how we play them, and they start getting mad at each other. And that's really when the snowball effect takes shape and Rio gets on a roll.
Yeah, and again, not to mention any names, but there was one game in particular where even the coaches were going at it with each other on the sideline because they couldn't figure out how to stop us. And
Yeah.
you know, they couldn't score on us and they couldn't stop us. So the defensive coordinator, well, the offensive coordinator says to the defense, "Can you stop them?" And he says, "Can you make touchdowns?" You know?
Yeah. It's funny. I mean, I say funny to see, but it's a beautiful thing to see, really, with just the way Rio plays, and it's been consistent over the years, really, with all this. If you could, I mean, with these last 3 years, whatever you want to go with this, do you have either of you have any specific memories from either Calogero or maybe just that final play at Santa Monica, a championship? Is there any specific? I know there's a bunch of things to choose from, but is there any specific moments individually or as just a team that stick out to you that you kind of carry with you from the past 3 years?
Yeah, there's a number of things, but one that stands out to me the most is a play where Calogero wound up getting a fumble. I think it was in the championship game, and that kind of put it away for the CIF championship. That was, it wasn't it. It was awesome because we got the fumble, but I can see how he was celebrating, you know, in his own way, and that made me feel good. That he was proud of himself, and we were proud of him, and everybody was cheering. You know, it was a great moment. And of course the win at Santa Monica. That was,
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
man, that was I had a full head of hair. It was all the way up to here. This is the Santa Monica game. I can go ahead and say.
It was like, thank you, Shine. That hand came up. We were like, thank you.
Man, thank you, Sha. I mean, yeah, and he's what's it called? Cemented his legacy right there. Yeah. Kira, talk about that game. I mean, it's a year ago. We just played the Vanden game. We played Warren. We played all these games. That Santa Monica game was insane. Just insane from start to finish.
It was, it was so much stuff going on that game. It's a lot of, the whole game except that. When you talk about a championship game, that is what you want the game to look like. You don't want it to be lopsided with somebody winning 40-1. You want it to be that close. You want a 27-29. You want it that close because you know that both teams want to win. That no matter that both teams are grinding, both teams are trying to get that W, and we just came out on top that time. That's all. Yeah. But man, that's a championship. That was a game to watch.
Yeah, you got that right. It was, you want that, and then the games that's you see kind of like a fight starting to go that direction. You're like, oh, this is nervous, but it's a fun nervous, right? I mean, the moms, the dads in the stands. Kira, I can't watching the game. You guys, the kids have it easy almost, or kids we're the nervous ones. The kids on the field just are going about their business, and we're the ones worrying and everything. That's what I always say. Let us worry. You guys just go play. But it's hard for moms and dads, right?
Absolutely. There is no doubt.
You want to make sure you like, please don't let my son mess up. Make sure where he's supposed to be. That's what you like. Let him be where he's supposed to be. Don't let everything fall on him. Because you don't want them to lose, and you got to drive home, and you got to
deal with that.
Deal with the
It was the other thing I remember about that game was the crowd size. That was just so unfortunate that we had to play there. But nevertheless, that just played into the game as well. It was a lot of people. It was a lot of cheering. There was a lot of noise. Man, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
I want to ask you, I think you guys are uniquely qualified to answer this as parents who saw a son go through the Rio program, win a championship. Another son is going through it 10 years later, winning 2 championships. Just the family aspect and the whole alumni concept of Rio. That's one thing I've been trying to do on the podcast so much is just pitching, get the alumni, hey, come out, be interested. Former families, you're unique in that you had a younger son, but I mean, Domenico being able to watch his brother as a proud alum, you guys getting to be football parents again. I mean, it sounds like quite a ride and one that we can keep reliving. And just if you could speak to that, being parents of two Rio grads and kind of getting to do it over and over again.
Yeah, first of all, Doe winning that, being a part of that championship team was phenomenal. He made a name for himself at Rio. Although he started in the sixth grade in the Pac-12, he still came out to play. He was ready to play. But watching Calogero and these guys from the earliest of ages all the way up until now is truly remarkable. To see little kids who are uncoordinated that look like helmets with feet coming out, running around the field to these behemoths, and you got Elijah, Davia.
Ooh, Elijah. Oh my God. You should have seen him at 6. Oh my God.
Oh,
I got just
Oh my God.
people. But they just really gel together. But it goes beyond just the team. It goes to the Care Youth League, and it goes to Rio Hondo and Pearl Prep, and how they keep people together. They keep that family structure alive, and the history of Rio is constantly being relived again, over and over again. So there's a greater sense of pride in the school and its mantra as there is about winning, because winning comes with that, or rather reversed. You have, the more people that you have to look up to, the more you want to be like that. You mold yourself into being that championship form. And it takes everybody. It takes a village, right?
Yes.
And this certainly is the case there. Everybody is involved, and everybody has made a difference in our kids' lives as well.
and Kira, if you can kind of piggyback on that, I know that a lot of, I don't know how else to say it. I never want to knock anyone's, family decisions or where their kids go to school, but there's been a lot of kids that have said, families said, no, Rio seems cool, but we're going to pass. I mean, if you could, just your experience and how, it doesn't seem like you regret it at all, or it just sounds like you guys have soaked it up multiple times now, and that it was really the perfect place for you and your family back then and right now.
I like that it's a small school. That's what I like the most about it, that it was a small school, that it wasn't big, and that I knew that even when my son went, I knew that the education part was going to be top notch. That's what I was really concerned about too, because I needed my kids. I don't want them to be stupid. So I'm looking for a school that was going to teach my kids some stuff, right? But I like the fact that they had all sports. So when I came upon the school by accident, I already knew. I was like, yeah, I knew my son was going to this school. And because I saw what it did with my older son, it was no question about it that Calogero was going to go too. Because I saw what happened to Doe. So I was like, yeah, you going to this school. But Calogero wanted to go anyway because he wants to follow in the steps of Doe. So when Doe won a ring, when he was going there, that's all he kept on saying is, I'm a win a ring too. And now he got 2. So now he think he better than Doe, because he like, yeah, I got 2, you got 1, like that. So you know how that goes. So, yeah.
Well, you know what's better than 2 though? There's
3.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Let me ask you, since you mentioned it, was you found Rio by accident? If you could tell us about that story.
We went for a walk on the wash, remember?
Yeah.
And we was walking, and as we were walking by, I looked over, I could see the kids playing, and I was like, oh, what school is this? So I remember I walked around, and I thought it was like a elementary school, whatever, but she said the kids were in 6th grade. So I was like, oh, because my oldest son was going to Rio Hondo Elementary, down the school down the street. And I think he was like in the 3rd grade.
Yeah.
In the 3rd grade. So she said the school started in the 6th. So I said, okay. Then I said, well, my son would be back here to play in 6th grade. And sure enough, when he finished 5th grade, I took my behind right on down to that school. Like, let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Doe didn't want to be there.
And he didn't want to go there at first, because I remember when he was there, he was like, he didn't like it. He wanted to go back to Rio Hondo Elementary. So I told him, just give me a year. because we paying for him to go there. So I said, so just give me a year. If you don't like it, I'll send you back to Rio Hondo Elementary. And after that year, he was like, never mind, I like it.
That
I
was
said,
3 months into it. He didn't want to go.
That's crazy. And so you didn't know anything. You were walking and just saw it, and
Yeah.
you didn't even gather a lot of information. You were just like, that seems like a good place.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is incredible. Think
In
of
my
how
life.
much of the well, we're glad you took that walk. Let me tell you, for a few
I
reasons.
never would have known.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Now I remember, man, Doe was a heck of a player. Some great teams there. If you let's talk about the coaching staff. I always like honoring them, getting the parents' perspective on that, because you guys have a very unique task at Rio, or however you want to phrase it. All families kind of give their kids to the coaching staff of teams for a little bit, right? Workouts and things. Rio families do it a little different. Kids are on the Europe trip right now. You're letting these coaches take your kids to another country, multiple countries, and then all the work they do, of course, on the field and behind the scenes. Ron, we just hear from you first about that and kind of the Rio coaching staff and maybe why it's different. As a former coach yourself, you kind of know a little bit inside there on how the Rio coaches are different.
Yeah, I coached in LA Unified, and these are all neighborhood kids. A lot of them don't have the experience of playing football. So you're going from the ground up at high school, and there's the tightness of the teams aren't as close as here, and that's a big tribute to the entire staff. You can have one or two coaches trying to bring the team together where I was, but it doesn't have the same effect as the entire team. They all believe in the same goal. They all believe in the same philosophy. They all believe in the same tactics. So there's no way for one of your players to scoot outside that, or much less half the team to go away from that. And it winds up building a solid foundation for the kids even before they get to Rio, but it's really solidified at Rio. It's really the foundation is there. All they're doing is putting all the fancy stuff in and making it work right and making it look good. It's Vegas. This is Vegas over here.
I've never heard Rio refer to that, but I think it works somehow. Kira, if you could, about the coaching staff, some kids they'll look for sympathy from their moms. When the coaches are too hard on them. You strike me as someone that says you better be listening to what those coaches are.
He'll tell you all the time. Listen to the coach. That's the coach. Listen. Yeah. Listen to what they say. Listen. Yeah. I like Coach Carson. I like Coach AJ. I like the coaching staff.
Yeah.
I like the coaching staff. So, and I trust that they know what they're doing. So listen to the coach. That's it.
And the proof is there, right? When you see kind of things work or how we compete, even when we lose, it's, it's by a yard or a point. It's just like, man, we're right there. What they get out of these kids. So I've talked to Mark about this all the time. You can't do what you do at Rio without exceptional families. And the parents buy in so much with the meals. They don't try to overstep the coaches' decisions, which is huge. That's not the same at other places. You guys, I'm sure, know that. So it takes everyone really, and just the families. And we got a lot of team dinners coming up here in the next few months. A lot of fun activities, but I know you guys know it's going to fly by really. So you got to kind of enjoy each and every one of them.
Yeah, talking about the parents, these parents here at Rio are phenomenal. They give all for one goal, and that's for the success of Rio Hondo Prep. And last year we started off with the tailgate, which was bigger than we anticipated. The parents are getting together, and hopefully we have some bigger events that bring in that family to get the parents more involved, and those parents that are not Rio Hondo Prep born and raised parents, the outside parents, to bring them in and make them or allow them the time to absorb what Rio's all about. I think that's important for us.
Yeah, when you look at our kid, I love when people. I'm always, fighting these battles at other places, and people are like, oh, small private school, a bunch of rich kids or something. I'm like, do you have any idea the background of all the families and how, we
Exactly.
have kids from all over the place. You guys know nothing about us, and you know what? You probably don't need to. You don't need to because you don't really want to understand it, which is beautiful. It's kind of an advantage, and
Yeah.
I love that. You cannot explain Rio Hondo. We tried to on this podcast, but you got to experience it, right, Kira?
Yes. That's another thing. You're right. They underestimate these kids because they think like that. Oh, these some rich kids. These are I'm like, nah, these kids, not these kids. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah. And it's nothing wrong with successful families or whatever out there, but it's just like we're just Jeff Fairley said it a few weeks ago. Ordinary people. We're just, I think all of us, it's a blue collar attitude with these kids. And it all comes from their wonderful, wonderful families. As we'll wrap it up here, we went about 30 minutes. I want to give you each an opportunity to just say what you want to say to Calogero going into his final season, his senior season. I know he's going to be on camera quite a bit, milking it up or whatever the case is. But yeah, Kira, we'll start with you. Just any final thoughts or direct words you want to say to your senior son, Calogero?
Hello, Drew. I want you to play hard. I want you to keep the faith. Every time you step on that field, know you're the greatest. Play your hardest at all time. Even if you mess up, it's okay. Just get it back.
Yeah, Calogero.
Sounds great. I'm sorry, Ron, to interrupt. Ron, your turn. Go right ahead.
Calogero, we are proud of you more than we can ever say. Watching you from being born till right now has been an adventure, to say the least. Your personality is amazing, and the way you play all your sports is phenomenal. And this year, make it the best year, regardless of what happens. This is the best time of your life. You're senior in high school. You're the big man on campus. Enjoy your time this year.
Well said to the Chico family. It's been an absolute privilege. I see you guys. We wave at each other and things, but getting to talk with you for a half hour or so has been, it's been a blessing. It's been great. Thank you to you for everything you do for the Rio family and for the Chico family. And just, man, are you guys ready? What do we got? 6 weeks? 6 weeks until kickoff. Let's get this thing going, huh?
That's right. Matt, and going back to you, thanks for this.
Thank you.
This is important. The kids look forward to being interviewed, and they like it. The podcast is fun. Phenomenal TV crew that we have, the play-by-play announcers. God, Rio just keeps getting better and better, and this is part of it. Thanks, Matt.
You got it. It's a privilege. And play-by-play man, Clark Bollinger, he used to throw touchdowns to your son, Domenico, right? Back down the day. Now he's laying it out on the microphone. So, hey, it's been a privilege. Ron, Kira, thanks again. We'll see you in a few weeks, and let's go for that third ring. What do you think?
All right, let's do it.
I'm in.
Let's go.
Number 3. See you guys.
All right,
bye-bye.
All right, we are now joined by another group of parents for our senior sons episodes as we head into August now, closer to the season. We are joined today by Armando Raygoza and his lovely wife, Maria Raygoza, joining us from El Monte. They're patiently waiting for their son, Diego, to come back from Europe. I'm sure they're excited about that and football season. Armando Raygoza, good afternoon. Thanks for joining me today on the podcast.
Yeah, it's good to be with you, Matt.
And Maria, glad to have you on as well. Tell me, Maria, what's it like waiting for your son to come back from another country? As we record this July 13th, the boys will be home in 2 days, but you got to be just patiently waiting to see your son again.
I am. The anticipation is killing me. I can't wait to hold him.
Well, that said, that son of yours is no longer a boy. He is a young man, much like all the other high school young men, especially this group of seniors. Armando, I mean, watching Diego start playing ball and go through Rio as a freshman, I mean, is it hard to believe that the senior year is here right in front of us?
Yeah, it's going by too fast. You almost wish there was another year ahead or something, because it sounds like it feels like he started as a freshman just a couple days ago or something. And now we're hitting senior year. It's kind of hard to believe we're here now.
Absolutely. And Maria, I think all mothers see their sons as, little boys and growing up, and you think about those days when they become adults and everything. A similar question to you. I mean, has time just flown by? You're waiting to see him this Tuesday night, but I don't know. He's going to come back a young man and ready to hopefully conquer the world this senior year.
Yeah, there's been a shift in him and his person where he is no longer the teeny bopper or the young man who needs, mama and papa's help. He's becoming his own individual, his own man. And as a mother, it's amazing to see that transition, especially happen over the course of a summer or the last part of his junior year. It's amazing, it's scary, it's every emotion you can possibly think of, but I am just excited for what this life and what God has in planned for him.
Absolutely. And Coach Carson always says it. It's, you know what? We have a great program. We got a great coaching staff, the kids and everything, but it really does start with the families, the parents. There's a special bond there. Armando, if you could, this senior class, the class of 2026, as we approach the 2025 football season, this is a real special group. We know that it's been 2 amazing years of football and 3 years of a high school experience. But if you could, Armando, just talk about this class and collectively, the class of 2026, this group of seniors. I'm sure you know them well, all of Diego's friends and everything, and maybe a few extra sons here and there, right?
They're really a close-knit group. When they're not doing football or sports, they're trying to organize game nights at each other's house or meet at the mall or meet to play board games or something like that. And it's pretty common. We'll pick up not only our son but their friend and take them to their house because parent couldn't do so. And so I would say they're a tight knit group. They're really tight. They're really close. They're really friends, and they care for each other. And that's awesome to see them have that relationships already.
I think it's really important, a major aspect of the Rio Hondo experience. And, when you talk brotherhood, it's a real deal at Rio, and especially regarding the football program. Maria, I know one thing all mothers do is worry about, their children, especially their teenage boys, maybe some influences or whatever the case. It seems to me with the mothers at Rio, especially with their teenage boys, it seems like all moms are always going to worry, but it seems like maybe Rio moms worry less because of the environment they're in and the people that they surround themselves with.
Oh yeah, hands down, that's 100% accurate. As a Rio mom, coming from the public school system, knowing what I've seen from the public school system, and then transitioning and having my son be at Rio, it's night and day. The level of commitment that each individual child has to each other is really amazing. Like, I never thought my son would go hang out with upperclassmen to study for a biology test, or what was it, chemistry? I don't know. They study together. Like, who does that?
Yeah, Zoom call.
These kids do that. They Zoom each other, practice questions for Spanish or English, and it's so neat to see. And so
another environment.
It's just like a completely different culture. It's a different environment where our kids are allowed to be kids, and they're allowed the opportunity to make mistakes and grow with those mistakes versus what we had when we were growing up, where we made a mistake. Well, we paid for it right away, and maybe we didn't have the guidance that we needed. But here at Rio, it's
different.
It's different.
It is different. You can't really put your finger on it or explain it. You got to kind of experience it yourself. And Armando, just kind of continuing on that topic, just Rio Hondo in general, I think there are parents out there, and maybe this is a pitch to parents who are questioning it or thinking about coming. I always ask our parents, what is it that made you guys make that move to Rio Hondo? It's not an easy decision. It's not free by any means, but it takes work to make it happen, and the benefits of Rio Hondo. And if you could just either decision process for you guys to be a Rio, be involved, or just kind of if you were talking to parents who are kind of on the fence about this kind of weird private school there in Arcadia.
I'm gonna have to give you a little bit of history to answer that. But as a as a kid, I went to KYL. You already knew that, but I failed to mention that I went to Rio. And so I went, back then they had a kindergarten, and my mom was like an assistant teacher. And so I went to kinder, first, second, third, and then around third grade, we moved far away, like, Orange County. But so it was a really easy decision, actually, to play some in Rio and my other kids at Pearl, just because of what I got out of it. When I finally went to public school around third grade in Orange County, I was advanced. I didn't even know. I was like an 11th grade reading level. So I guess academically they do very well, and as opposed to public schools. And so I remember all the events. I remember participating in plays. I remember singing. I remember being Santa Claus in one of the plays. And so, if you do a tour with Coach Carson, I guess nowadays, right? He'll pitch the sports, but also the well-roundedness of how your child will end up experiencing all these different things. And they really put their money where their mouth is, because they go as far as to spending 4 weeks with our kids overseas, and in the effort, the Herculean effort, leave your wife and kids at home, and provide like this amazing experience, while other schools right now are doing 7-on-7 and lineman competitions. They're out there investing in that well-roundedness, of our kids. So that's an amazing thing. So sorry, that was a long-winded answer, but yeah,
Oh,
it was an easy decision.
it's fantastic. I love the backstory. And Maria Armando had the experience, at Care, and kind of when he pitched Care Youth League to you, Rio Hondo Prep to you. I mean, he had a good grasp of it. I'm sure you did not, but you had to kind of eat it up rather quickly, and seeing kind of the results and the atmosphere and the environment and all the things that they did.
I mean, it wasn't a hard decision coming from the El Monte School District. I mean, not to say that it's a bad district, but it has its challenges. So joining Pearl and then Rio afterwards, it's not a hard
Yeah.
choice.
I know the moms really love, the dads typically love sports, not to say the moms don't, but I know that the moms love it with their son. They love seeing, them up on stage doing something. And also, academically, as you already mentioned, with the Zoom calls and everything. So Maria, you got to be just overjoyed really with, again, the well-roundedness that your son goes through, because that's the irony to me, is that so many parents or kids even who don't want to go to Rio because you're not gonna be exposed to the world or learn to grow. And it's like, wait a minute, in my opinion, you do way more at Rio than you would anywhere else, right?
Oh, yes, definitely. I think Rio Hondo is not a school for you if you don't want to explore and have adventure, develop lifelong friendships, have mentors in your life, just people pouring into you, wholeheartedly, without wanting anything back. They just pour into you. So if that's not what if you don't want that, then Rio Hondo is not for you. Rio Hondo is one of a kind. We're not the biggest school, but we have the biggest heart. The faculty, I'm going to get all emotional right now. I mean, there's so much I can say about Rio Hondo and what it's done for my child. I mean, Diego, when you see him, he's an introvert, but when I see him on campus, he's talking to his teachers, he's talking to lower classmen, he's an upperclassman now, so he's, big senior on campus. But I love that those lines, they just, there's no lines, they just blend seamlessly, freshman, senior, and Rio Hondo does a really good job of that. And I mean, yeah.
You gotta love it. I think, one aspect of Rio that's just clear as day is when you hear the term cares, what are the cares? I think deep down, it's about a faculty, a coaching staff that cares about these young men and women, and they're educating them to care in life, care about the things of God, care about others. And so that may be kind of odd to maybe, the people who don't know anything about it, but like, as you just mentioned, the faculty and just the work that goes in. Armando, we'll stay on that topic just briefly about the coaching staff. Head coach Mark Carson, some of the other assistants he has. I can honestly say, in watching them work on a daily basis, these guys, they get every drop of talent, effort. They squeeze everything out of these guys and also push them to levels that maybe they never thought they could be. Is that kind of been what you've seen the past few years with the football program?
Yeah, there's an immense buy-in on the part of the kids that believe in it, because you could see our 8th grade team winning their championship, and I mean it's basically the same offense. So believe, buy in, play like this, block like this, and so it's not hard now at this point to get that buy-in, but you could see it. And so yeah, they take an average athletic 15-year-old and you can see it out in the field when the guy in front of him. I mean, when we played MLK last year, I walked by a kid on MLK that looked like 6'8" or something. I mean, my head was just above his belt buckle or something. I mean, he was huge. And you got like Jacob Gomez size or Troy Seto size kids, and they're moving them, blocking them, and our running backs are breaking loose for a 15-yard scamper. So that takes a lot of buy-in to believe in what you're doing, and the coaches do a great job of training our kids and getting the most out of them, and that's an amazing experience, right? Because you could see yourself during warm-ups and look across and see them, and they are, it's amazing. They know they're gonna have a chance despite the size difference or talent difference or how many guys across are D1 or D2 prospects. So yeah, amazing buy-in, and they really get the most out of them.
They coach smart, but they also coach hard. And Maria, I'm sure it's not easy again for the moms out there to see their boys pushed. But I think, again, you talk about buy-in, there's a buy-in from the parents as well that understand they're pushing our kids hard, and it's good for them. It's good. You could see the product on the field, obviously, but yeah, whether it's physically, there is obviously some shouting. There's never any demeaning out there, but our coaches, Maria, coach the boys hard. And I think, I don't know, I think the results speak for themselves.
No, it's true. And I think one of the benefits that these young men get from coaching at this level is the fact that they're gaining real world experience, because real job, you're going to get yelled at by a supervisor. They're not only are they being mentally and physically built, but you have the emotional aspect of how do you handle the stress emotionally, right? And I actually believe that sports, in this case football, helps with dealing with emotional, physical, and even spiritually building you up. So I'm glad that they get some of that tough love, because
Yeah.
They don't want to hear it from parents. So, the world's going to give it to them. So they need to experience it one way or another.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know, the world we live in now, it's kind of gotten away from that a little bit, like the reality of just how things are. And it's just like, okay, yeah, it is tough love sometimes. You got to experience the words tough and love are, both in there. So they both matter. Armando, let's talk about the past 2 seasons. Your son is on 2 championship banners. His name will be up there forever. And the incredible finish at Santa Monica, the dominating, shocking win over Warren. I don't know. I'll just ask you straight up, the past 2 football seasons, any specific memories or just your overall thoughts on the back-to-back championship runs?
Yeah, there's one play that's like seared in my head, because at Santa Monica we were, it was packed, and so we were sitting at the end zone, and we were on like the 10-yard line, and our tight end, and I'm forgetting his name.
Tafflinger, the
Tafflinger.
Fourth and yes.
And he caught that ball. I mean, and Mustaine held on to the ball for like, I was like saying, throw it,
Yeah.
throw the ball. and I mean, he threw it at the very last second, and Tafflinger caught that ball like within 4 feet of me. And that memory, I mean, that play was like elation, right?
Oh,
And so that moment was amazing. But overall, it has been very, I guess, to use the word magical 2 years of can we win again? And can we win again away? And can we win again in Riverside? And, and we just kept winning. And so, yeah, it's been living through my son's eyes a little bit, and experiencing that, just that run. It's been amazing. Yeah, it's been really cool.
so many moments, so many memories. I last year, your son jumping on that fumble at MLK High School. It was a true hustle play that I remember. Chasing the play down. Anyone could have just given up on the play. He was way behind it, but you know what? And to see the celebration of his teammates in that play, especially the close-ups, you just sense the love of the players and coaches in that moment. Maria, I'll ask you similar about the past 2 years. I gotta imagine. After some of those games, not many fingernails left, or whatever it is you do to let out the stress. Just some crazy nights, right?
We do one of these, like, oh my God, I got like, oh my God. But yeah, no, the sheer excitement that the energy the parents give off, is pretty epic. I mean, as parents, we're full of excitement. I can just imagine what the kids are feeling. But it's excitement for me to see how this amazing small school is just, beating Goliath. And it's exciting as a mom to see my son be a part of this amazing team. And it's nerve-wracking because there's been incidents where players have been hurt, and fortunately it hasn't been our guys. But as a mom, you always worry about that. You're like, oh my God, where is he at? The MLK incident, my first thing was, I don't see my son. Where is my son? And then all of a sudden, there's a dog pile and he comes up with the ball. I'm like, oh my God, there's my son. And then after the fact, I realized, oh, it was a fumble recovery. But as a mother, I'm like, where's my son on the field? So that's just a little bit of what, as a mother, your first instinct is he okay? And then are we winning? So
yeah. In that order, for sure. That's really funny. Yeah, I'm excited for this senior class. I think guys like Diego, we've had so much talent the past few years, and just some amazing guys that we've lost to graduation. I see a real opportunity for Diego this year. We definitely need that. We can never have enough linemen. We've lost some great ones, and Armando, I think. I don't know. We'll see Diego out there maybe pushing some of those 6'8" guys around this year. What do you think?
I hope so. Let's see.
Yeah.
He's got to put in the work and show that he can do it. But yeah, it's exciting. We can't wait to record this in memory. The last high school season. It's going to be a really special one, and I can't wait to be there for it and just enjoy it.
Oh man, we August 22nd cannot come soon enough. We got a huge opener. We got a trip to Texas. Hopefully some postseason games. I mean, Maria, you blink and it's August. It's been a quick summer. Are you ready for another fun-filled football season? The final chapter for Diego Raygoza.
We're ready.
Yeah, we blocked out the whole, calendar of Fridays and some Saturdays, and when we did the math the other day, we have a daughter that's going to be, when Diego graduates, she'll be an 8th grader, ninth grader, and she'll be a cheerleader. And then we have a son that comes up behind her. And so we kind of blocked out the next 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Rio games.
I love it. That is fantastic. Restart it up.
We're doing the math. It's like 10 more years of this. Let's go.
Season tickets, home and away for you guys. I love it. No matter where we go, I talked to some of the parents who, that's one of the beauties of Rio too, is that you see a lot of parents whose kids have graduated a few years ago, but the support never graduates. The alumni, you get to come back as members of the alumni, and you guys, you're not going anywhere, obviously, because you got more kids involved. But even after that, we need you guys at games forever. Maybe not every game, like you do now, but there's no better place to be on a Friday night, right, Maria?
No, not at all. But touching on that subject about the alumni support and parent support. Earlier on during Diego's freshman game, we saw other parents who didn't have kids on the freshman team, but they were there supporting. And I asked him, like, they don't have any kids here. What are they doing here? Like, it didn't click for me then that the support, it's not just for your child, but it's for every child on that field. And this year we got the amazing opportunity to follow the girls softball team. We don't have anybody on the softball team, but we were traveling with them, which is, pretty amazing. And so again, it's the culture of the school that allows that freedom for you to not only be a part of the school, but participate with every win in every aspect, either academically or on the field athletically. Rio allows that, and I love it.
Yeah, that's so well said. And yeah, you see parents, first you may not get it, but you will over time. And I love, hey, this school has only 70 kids in their school. Who are all these people in the stands? It's like, well, we got a big alumni presence, and not just the alumni, but the parents of alumni. I mean, they're included as well. Yeah, it's, you can't say enough about it. And those girls and that softball run was magical. I want to ask just you guys about the podcast. I know you guys are loyal listeners, and Armando, have you guys had any? I mean, you sound like diehards waking up watching. The first thing when episodes drop. We had a huge episode released this last weekend that has been probably our biggest ever play. But I don't know, do you have any favorite episodes or kind of listening to the kids or Coach Carson as far as the podcast goes?
I really enjoyed the coach interviews. Last year, you interviewed Maranatha's head coach, and it's really interesting to hear them and their thoughts about Rio. Like, it's like it's in the consciousness of more coaches now, and then last week you interviewed Coach from Sure High School, Austin Montoya. So those are really interesting to me to hear them talk and the questions that you ask them, and their opinions, and how they're it's really how many coaches now are starting to realize that this little school is really a contender. And so, man, I really hope you do more of those head coach interviews.
Definitely.
I mean, if they want to, right?
Yeah, it's every time I talk with them too, I'm like, man, these guys are so gracious of their time, and they're willing to talk about pretty much anything. There's zero bad blood. It's just this respect really that I appreciate, and I'm gonna try to get more of those. Trust me, in the future. It's been a blessing, talking to the MLK coaches here as well for recapping last year's game. I'm always working on different guests behind the scenes. So, Maria, your thoughts on the podcast? Any special guests or just kind of weekly appearances that you like taking part in?
Well, I appreciate the parent interviews as well as the faculty interviews. Parents, because I like to hear that the majority of parents, we have this thing in common where we're all about our children and we're about the school. And, it's nice to hear that another parent has your same values and your same beliefs and the same desires for your child. So that's nice. And the faculty, I loved learning more about the faculty, these individuals who are with our children 8 hours a day, like Mr. Mosier, the veteran, that's amazing. Of course, Mark, learning his first name was pretty epic.
Gordell.
That's pretty epic. But it's nice to know more about the people who are around your children, and so I appreciate that from your podcast. And I can't, and you, of course, I listening to all your wonderful insights, and I think listening to the podcast before game day also is kind of like an adrenaline booster. So
that's the goal. You have thoughts in your head how you want things to go, and it's nice to hear feedback from people like that it is it's working out the way you want. And so always working to improve this thing and make it better. But ultimately it's for the alumni, it's for the parents, it's for kids don't always understand the moment they're in at the time, and so you want them to have it later also, and for all of us to kind of unite it. And I love the senior parent interviews as well, because you get insight into mom and dad for our players, getting to learn about them. And so, I mean, we got alumni across the country who are rooting for these guys who want to know a little bit about them, and their families. So that's what we're ultimately doing there.
That's a really good point. The podcast is going to be up on YouTube for posterity, and they may not, like you said, they don't know the moment they're living in, but 10 years from now, they can go back and not only watch their highlight reel or their games, but watch the podcast, and it's just another thing, another keepsake or a thing to leave to them.
Yep. We're not going anywhere, and we're going to keep this thing growing. Maria, if you could talk to me about Diego just as a kid, maybe some interests outside of football, outside of school. Is he just your typical teenager, likes to, I don't know, just hang out with his friends, swimming, whatever? What are some of his interests, or maybe some things he's thinking about after high school?
Well, Diego, as I mentioned earlier, he's an introvert. He is extremely intelligent, sometimes too intelligent for me because I don't know what he's trying to say. But he's a builder. He has an engineering mind. So with that engineering mind, whenever you give him a task or delegate a task to him, he needs to know the mechanics of that task and how to execute it and what the outcome is. So in knowing that now, it's a lot easier to speak with him because of that engineering mind he has. I can delegate a chore, but structure it so it's laid out for him, kind of a thing. Otherwise, he'll be like, "Why do I have to do this?" Like,
Or
no,
how.
Yeah.
or how do I do this? Like,
Explain it. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Armando, it sounds like running a football play. The structure, executing it. I mean, I see the tie-in there, the similarities, right?
Yep, definitely.
I think a hidden talent that Diego has is that he loves to cook. He is a really, really good chef.
Baker too.
He's an excellent baker.
Okay.
He likes to eat as much as he likes to cook.
Well, you got my attention, man. You got my attention. I'm right there with you. All right, we need some taste tests going on here. Diego, let's get it going.
No, he can do a full, 4 or 5 course meal for you. Seriously.
Wow. Well, it sounds like team dinner should be exciting. You guys are senior parents now. You'd be participating in some of that, although I'm sure it wasn't just seniors, right? Who do that? Maybe all the parents.
Yeah, we did one last year, and we're on the list for this year too. Yeah, definitely.
What's it like feeding 50 guys or whatever it is? That's got to be just nuts.
It is nuts, but you can ask her because I didn't do anything last year.
It's not that hard, mainly because coming from a church background, in the Latin community, we have fellowship at the end, where fellowship we have to feed about 100 people.
Wow.
And so my mom, for the longest time, was in charge of that, the catering. So for me, it wasn't too difficult. I think the difficult part is putting a menu together that the kids will like.
The menu changed like 5 times in the last week. Yeah.
You got to call audibles. You never know whatever the defense is throwing at you. And I will say there's a difference between feeding 50 people and feeding 50 teenage boys. That's like double. That's like double almost, right?
Some of the skinnier guys, they eat more. I couldn't believe how much they put down. And it's
energy, right?
It's mostly the cross country guys. I mean, they put down several plates of food.
Oh man, I'm getting hungry now talking about it. Well, guys, as we wrap it up, I want to give you an opportunity now to talk directly to your son. Send him a message, if you will, for his going into his senior season. Whatever's on your mind. I know this is usually a little difficult, especially for the moms, but hopefully, we'll get through it. Any message, anything you want to say to your senior son, Diego? Maria, ladies first. We'll let you have a first crack at it.
I'm going to keep it short and sweet because I will cry. Just Diego, we're very proud of you. And I'm already crying. We're excited for your last year here at Rio. Just have fun, babe. Just have fun. That's all I can say. And I love you.
Yeah. And you would think she's the more emotional one, but it's actually me. I'm the one missing him more right now that he's in Europe. But yeah, Diego, we want to tell you that we're really proud of you and to have lots of fun, to really enjoy and take in this last year of high school at Rio. and to enjoy yourself as much as you can, and make the best of it, and stay the course. All right, we love you, son.
Amen. Thank you guys for doing this, for your contributions to Rio Hondo football, but also just for raising an outstanding young man. I always tell people, I mean, you look at our guys, it all starts with our families and our parents. So thank you to the Raygoza family. Look forward to Diego's senior season. And let's see, what do we got? We got just over a month left, guys. You ready for some football? Let's get this thing going.
Oh, we're so excited.
We're
I can't
ready.
wait. August 22nd can't come soon enough.
Not enough. Yep.
Yeah, well said. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you at that game and maybe before then. But yeah, going to be a fun season. Thanks again for joining me today.
Thank you, Matt.
Well, there you have it. Two outstanding families on the Charge to Keep podcast for our Senior Sons episode as we continue those going forward. Love hearing from both the Chico and Raygoza families. And, again, for me, it's a great chance to soak up and kind of communicate with these families what's been going on the past few years, because I wave, I say hello, our interactions are usually brief. So a chance to sit down and talk with them is always a true joy for me as well. So big thank you to them and everything they're doing. And again, the proof is in the sons they put out there. And I know Rio gets some credit too, but these parents, man, the families, the desire to have their kids here at Rio and to to send them to Europe and have the coaches, the trust in the coaches. I'll say it kind of leaves you speechless, kind of the Rio way of life. And for those out there who are new to all this, well, hopefully you get some insight and maybe some more curiosity and just look into this great football program, this great school, and that all the alumni it has produced, and hopefully you guys get a true sense of that as we do these interviews once again. We will see if we have more interviews going forward, as I recorded most of these in July. The plan was just doing weekly, but I want to encourage the senior families out there. Please reach out to me if you should so feel inclined. Best way to get a hold of me is charge2keeppod@gmail.com. charge2keeppod@gmail.com. Back-to-back P's in there, keep and pod. So be sure of that. But you can also text me or message me, direct message on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever or however you would like. I would love to sit down and record something with you, a chance for you to talk about your experiences and for you to say well wishes going into the final season for your senior son. The original plan was just to do Friday episodes in August like we've been doing. But as we kind of get to August, I got no issues with maybe going to a Tuesday and Friday format so we can get all of our senior families on here. And, once the season starts August 22nd, we're going to be having 2 episodes a week anyway, with pregame and postgame shows, usually Wednesdays and Saturdays when those will be coming out. Sometimes Sundays on the post-game shows, as you guys are well aware. But that's kind of the format going forward. And again, I think this is 6 families now we have recorded with, and I know I've recorded with one more. So we got one more episode potentially. But again, I got no issue if we could stockpile some and stack them up and get some more families out there. The invitation is out there to all the families. For the senior parents. And I look forward to hearing from you, and no pressure. If you don't want to participate for any reason, by all means, that is completely fine as well. Not everyone loves the camera, the microphone. I sure don't, or don't always. I'll say it's just hard for me to believe that I'm the one doing this all the time. But anyway, I love doing it, and a privilege and an honor, as I always say. All right, that'll wrap up this week's episode. As long as in the future here, I'm doing my crystal ball that, there aren't other Tuesday or Fridays, or maybe this is a Tuesday. This should be a Friday episode as I sit here recording, but great football coming up. The practices at this point should be going. I'm again looking ahead when this comes out in a few Fridays or so. So practices should be going, and the heat is up for sure. But I know that the attention to detail, the hard work is up as well. And our boys are hitting it hard and are just very, very excited to potentially chase a 3rd straight CIF Southern Section Championship. We will see you next week with more content, whether it's Tuesday, Friday, or whenever. Be sure to continue to follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And as always, if you can get one person to subscribe to the podcast on YouTube, That is definitely appreciated. And maybe some other big news coming up soon about the podcast, potential things I'm doing outside of broadcasting and just posting, information and content. Might be some other things ahead. I'll tease it there, and we'll see. It's tough putting it all together, but again, it's an honor to do so. Thank you to the Chico and the Raygoza families. Great talking to you. I'll see you guys very, very soon. And to the rest of you, your friendly reminder. Rio Hondo Prep Football, humble in victory and gracious in defeat, because we always have a charge to keep.
A charge to keep I have, a God to glorify, a never-dying soul to save, and fit it for the sky. Arm me with jealous care, as in thy sight to live. And, O thy servant, Lord, prepare, 'prepare, 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 '